Good evening. My name is Emily Sterner, and today we'll be talking about the return on investment in instructional design. First, we'll discuss what is return on investment. According to Reiser and Dempsey, they note that large expenditure in an organization should connect to business success. This extends to non-business settings as well. Large investments should connect to the organization's measures of output, quality, cost, and time. Executives and administrators who fund the budgets for technology-based education want to see a connection between their investment in learning technologies and business results. Executives want to know if the technology they are investing in are working properly. They want to know if it is making a difference, how it connects to the business, and does it add value that we anticipated. Now we'll discuss how you can measure return on investment. Reiser and Dempsey tell us that using the return on investment helps us answer the question, for every dollar invested in technology-based learning, how many dollars were returned after the investment is recovered? They then give us two equations that have been used to provide indicators of investment success. The first equation given is the benefit-cost ratio. The benefit-cost ratio compares benefits to cost, whereas the return on investment presents the earnings or net benefits as compared to the cost. The other difference is that the benefit cost is presented as a ratio, whereas the return on investment is presented as a percentage. In instructional design and education, the return on investment can look a bit different and sometimes has a varying meaning that depends upon the institution. Rivers and their associates comment that as institutions consider new educational models, constituents and stakeholders want the evidence of the return on investment for these new models. According to Riddick and Ponomaryov, return on investment can help measure the quality of an institution and can be used by parents and students to evaluate the university. In this article, they suggest that the return on investment should be calculated using institutional factors. Kim and Belzer also comment that using return on investment provides information about the costs and benefits of a program to see if it is a good investment. The author suggests that return on investment can be assessed using the causal relationship between a program and its targeted outcome. Another way to assess is using the direct and indirect costs of the program. The direct costs can include costs of educational supplies, wages for the instructors, and the rent for the space being used. The indirect costs can include if participants and volunteers had to forego earnings to participate in the program and costs of the shared spaces. Riddick and Ponomaryov believe that the productive abilities, skills, and knowledge of individuals after participating in the program should also be taken into consideration to assess the return on investment. To assess the outcome of implemented technology, an instructional designer can use an assessment to determine the success. These assessment models include Cephalobeam's CIPP evaluation model, Rossi's 5-domain evaluation model, Chen's theory-driven evaluation model, Kirkpatrick's training evaluation model, Brinkerhoff's success case model, and Patton's utilization-focused evaluation. These assessments help evaluate if the intended skills were acquired or if the expected objectives were achieved. I believe that of these models, the CIPP model would be the most beneficial for helping determine the return on investment. The CIPP model stands for Context, Input, Process, and Product. The last step of Cephalobeam's model is a product evaluation, which focuses on the success of the innovation or program in producing the desired outcome. Reiser and Dempsey state this measures variables specified in the program's objectives and identifies the unintended outcomes. During this step, a cost analysis is also performed. Reiser and Dempsey note that the product evaluation is useful when making a summative evaluation decision, which tells the overall merit and worth of the program. This helps calculate return on investment. Smith and Knapp have suggested an alternative for measuring the return on investment. They have suggested that education should use the return on an instructional investment model instead. The authors comment that the return on investment model poses a problem due to the lack of dollar-dominated return data that can be used. Smith and Knapp acknowledge that many investments within school settings are instructional programs where the benefit is based on student achievement or growth instead of dollars. whereas the original return on investment model uses average student achievement that can be based on standardized tests and the dollars that are spent on each student. The return on instructional investment model uses program benefits instead. The authors believe that this model is more flexible since the returns are expressed as values such as educational benefit instead of profit. Here we can see the equation that they use for return on instructional investment. First, we see the percent incremental benefit. This is equal to the percent difference in results between a control and experimental group. Next, we see the percent stakeholders impacted. This is equal to the percent of target school stakeholder groups that are impacted by the program throughout the year. Next is the $10,000 average investment size. This assumes that $10,000 on average is invested for instructional programs. This provides a scale for the return calculation. Next, we'll see the monies invested in the program. This is equal to the annualized money that is invested and the cost of the program based on the assumed life cycle of 4 years for the program. The percent incremental benefit is intended to measure the non-monetary benefits of the instructional program. By using this model, you're able to use values that are expressed as educational benefit instead of just a profit money representation. Thank you for your time.